Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voices of Partners. Today we are joined by TÜRGÖK, Türkiye Görme Özürlüler Kütüphanesi, Turkish Visually Impaired Library, and we are joined with a founding member and executive board president, Tülay Yazgan, and we are also joined by Füsun Dokuzoğuz and Elena Kaner. And I am so excited to do this program today because I think that we do not speak about some of the other organizations that we work with that really cater to the disabilities in Turkey. And I'm glad that we're able to have this program today so we can learn more about the amazing work that they do. TÜRGÖK is Turkey's first and only visually impaired library. I'd like to start the program with everybody introducing themselves, and I'll start with Tülay Hanım first. Tülay Hanım is going to join the program and speak in Turkish, and she's going to have Beynun Hanım, who's next to her, translate for us.
Merhaba. Ben Tülay Yazgan, Türkiye Görme Özürlüler Kitaplığı Yönetim Kurulu Başkanıyım. Kitaplığın kurucusu Gültekin Yazgan'ın eşiyim. Kendisini 11 yıl önce kaybettik. Ticaret Lisesi'nde 26 yıl öğretmenlik yaptım meslek olarak. 2 tane de evlat yetiştirdik. 2 oğlumuz var. Biri çocuk psikiyatristi Yankı Yazgan. Kendisi Amerika'da yapmıştı ihtisasını. Bir de Amerika'da çalışan bir oğlum var. Çocuk yaşlı psikiyatristi. Kaliforniya'da çalışıyor. Çağrı Yazgan. Böylece işte güzel bir yaşam sonucunda bu kitaplığı kurarak onun başkanlığını eşimle birlikte çalıştıktan sonra şimdi de ben devam ediyorum. Böyle bir bize fırsat yarattığı için de Turkish Philanthropy Fund'a çok teşekkür ediyorum. Sağ olun.
Biz teşekkür ederiz. Memnunuz. Buyurun.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tülay Yazgan. I am the wife of the founder of this library, Gültekin Yazgan. We founded this organization together. Now I am the president of the library, of the board, and we led a very beautiful life with my husband, and we had 2 children, 2 sons. Now one of them is in the United States, and he's a psychiatrist, and geriatric psychiatrist. And my older son is in Istanbul, and he works with, he's a psychiatrist as well, and he works with children and teenagers, I would say. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy that TPF has offered us this opportunity to come together with you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're very happy to have you all here today. I would like to pass it along to Elena Hanım, if you'd like to briefly mention about yourself. Elena Hanım, you're muted right now.
Yes.
You're muted.
Can you hear me? Yes. Yes. So have a nice day, and thank you for inviting us. I hope this meeting is going to be useful and enjoyable for all of us, and through it we can inform our donors about what we are doing and how they can help us, I think. I'm a retired teacher, and as far as I know, myself, that has been my ideal. And working in TÜRGÖK, in a way, has enabled me to go on with teaching and dealing with books. What I want is just to tell you how I joined TÜRGÖK. My first close contact with a blind person was about 25 years ago when I was teaching in a secondary school. And my blind student, Süheyla, was a very silent girl, but well, she didn't take part a lot in the classroom activities, but it didn't take me long to realize how clever, how hardworking, determined she was. And in Turkey, we have a very difficult university entrance exam. And for a student to be successful, I think it's nearly a must to go to a special preparation course. Süheyla enrolled in in one of these courses, but in a very short time she had to give up because the lessons were based so much on visuals. And then we studied together for 3 years when my free time coincided with her physical education or art lesson she didn't attend. And now I'm so happy to say that she is my colleague and she has been teaching English for, I think, more than 10 years. And I can say that it's through her that I realized the problems the blind students encountered. I mean, the problems about obtaining some reading materials. After Süheyla also, I had a few blind students, and working with them was really rewarding. But for many hours, you just work with one person. So when I heard that a new library for visually impaired was established and that they were looking for volunteers, well, I thought that I would be more useful there. And I joined as a volunteer first. And in 2005, I retired. And from then on, well, I joined the executive board. And since then, I have been working there so happily. I can say, to summarize, that TÜRGÖK gives me the possibility to satisfy my two most loved occupations. I mean, to help students and also to read and share literary books. So I'm very happy to be in TÜRGÖK.
I'm sure they're very happy to have you. That's
and then
wonderful.
I will try to speak about TÜRGÖK, not only for myself.
No, this part is first for us to get an introduction, to get to know each of you a little more. Thank you for sharing that. That was a very rewarding story to hear, and I'm sure it's equally as rewarding to be a part of making a difference in the lives of many, especially in a very underserved community in Turkey, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Füsun Hanım, I would like to pass it along to you. If you could tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you, Selin. Hello all, I'm very glad to be here with you, and I want to talk about myself a little bit. I am actually an industrial engineer, but I worked as an engineer only 4 years in my life. Then I worked in Ege University as an instructor and program coordinator, and then after retirement, I can say that was 2006, 5-6. I met Yazgan family in a book fair in Izmir, and that was the beginning of my retirement days, and began to work as a volunteer in TÜRGÖK. Then, as time passes, I saw that all the efforts in TÜRGÖK as a volunteer were very well planned, and all the efforts were directed to right targets, and the returns were very satisfactory. So I decided to spend all my capacity here in TÜRGÖK as a volunteer, and
about more than 6 years, I am at the executive board and working happily with my colleagues and volunteers and blind people. Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to have all of you here today. And with that said, I would really love to learn more about how TÜRGÖK began. So Tülay Hanım, if you'd like to share, the organization began in 2004, and since then it still holds to be the first and only visually impaired library serving the visually impaired in Türkiye. Tülay Hanım, if you'd like to tell us more.
Thank you. İzmir'den herkese sevgiler. İzmir'den böyle güzel, sıcak havalı bir güzel memleketten sizlerle konuşmaktan çok mutluyuz. Türkiye Görme Özürler kitaplığı 2004 yılında Gültekin Yazgan ve onun destek olan arkadaşları tarafından İzmir'de kuruldu. Ve bu kitaplığın kuruluş amacı Türkiye'de ve yurt dışında yaşayan, görmeyen kişilerin eğitimlerine, kültürel ve sosyal gelişimlerine destek olmaktı. Bunu sağlamak için de, bu amacına ulaşmak için de kitaplığımızda sesli ve kabartma kitaplar üretiliyor. Dergiler çıkarılıyor. 2 tane kabartma dergi, 1 tane sesli dergi ve özellikle de öğrencilerin eğitimleri için onların ders kitaplarını, ihtiyaçları olan ders kitaplarını, üniversite, lise giriş sınavlarını, EKPSS'ye başvuru kitaplarını, sınav kitaplarını kitaplığımızda üretip onlara gönderiyoruz. Ayrıca romanlar da tabii bütün bunların içine yer alıyor ve bütün bunları ücretsiz, tamamen onlara her türlü desteği vermek için yapıyoruz. Ve Türkiye'de ilk ve tek böyle bir kitaplık olarak kurulduğumuz için de Türkiye adını taşıyoruz. Peki şimdi burada arkadaşım bunu çevirsin, ben devam edeyim sonra.
Tabii ki, evet. Buyurun.
Love from Izmir, the beautiful city of Turkey. The Turkish Library for the Blind was founded in 2004 with the leadership of Gültekin Yazgan and a group of supporting friends. The founding mission of the library was to support the educational and cultural development of blind people, both at home in Turkey and abroad. In order to make it come true, embossed and voiced books have been produced, and among them are exam preparation books for all sorts of students and also for graduates who want to apply for a job in the state, in the government. And course books, English course books, and the like. Also novels and poetry, whatever is needed or demanded. In addition to periodicals in braille and 1 voiced magazine are produced in our library and sent to our members. And all this work is done free of charge.
Yes. Ben burada Gültekin Yazgan'ın bu kitaplığı acaba neden kurmaya kalkmasının hikayesini anlatmak istiyorum. Çünkü hakikaten Gültekin Bey'in bu kitaplık kurma hayalini ancak böyle anlatmak mümkün. Kendisi 11 yaşındayken Aydın'da yaşayan bir doktor ailenin çocuğu olarak yaşarken ilkokul 5. sınıfta bir kaza sonucu retina yırtılması geçiriyor ve ameliyatlar, birçok tedaviler sonucunda kör oluyor. Ve en büyük özelliği körlüğü kabul etmesi. Yani aile panik halindeyken o kendisi körlüğü kabul ediyor. Nasıl ben bunun içinden çıkarım diye kendini düşünüyor, ne yapabilirim diye bir takım fikirler aklına geliyor ve diyor ki bir yerde okumuş, görmüş, ben kabartma yazı öğrenmem lazım. Şunu belirtmek istiyorum ben burada. Öyle bir dönem ki 1938 yılı. O sıralarda Türkiye'de görmeyenleri sadece dilenci veyahut da müzik yapan veyahut da camilerde imamlık yapan kişi olarak görüyorlardı. Çünkü okuyan, belli bir şekilde gelişmesi mümkün olan kişiler yoktu. Çünkü okumak için okur yazar olmak lazım. Halbuki kabartma yazı bilmediğin zaman okur yazar olamıyorsun. Kabartma yazıyı öğreniyor. İzmir'de bir şeyden gelip 15 günlük bir kurstan geçiyor. Ve sonra Aydın'a dönüyorlar. Aydın'a dönünce çevresinden de iletişimi geliştirmeye çalışıyor. Bütün geçmiş arkadaşlarından tekrardan buluşmaya, kendisi piyano ve keman çaldığı için onlarla müzik kanalıyla birlikte olmaya çalışarak hayata uyum sağlamaya çalışıyor. Bu arada Aydın'da British Council bir İngilizce kursu açıyor. British Council'ın açtığı bu İngilizce kursunu duyunca ben bu kursa gidip İngilizce öğrenmeliyim diyor. Ve kursa gittiği zaman Essential English kitabını ona gösteriyorlar. Fakat diyor ki ben bu kitap elimde kabartma olarak bulunmazsa ben bu İngilizceyi öğrenemem. Kitap yok, basılı bir şey yok. Ne yapıyorlar? Anneyle oturuyorlar, anne oğul. Kabartma kağıtlar yok o zaman. Kasap kağıtları gibi kağıtlara tablet üzerinde her gün 3 saat, 4 saat çalışarak ve spelleyerek kelimeleri o kitabı kabartma olarak eline alıyor. Onlar bir araya geliyor, bir kitap oluyor ve kursa katılıyor. Kursu British Council açmış Aydın'da. Ve kursta tabii elinde kitap olunca, çok da çalışkan bir insan, çok azimli bir insan olunca çok başarılı oluyor. 1944 yılları, İngiltere'de savaşın falan olduğu dönemler. İngiltere'den müfettişler geliyor, bakıyorlar çok başarılı bir çocuk. Çok etkileniyorlar. Bir ay sonra tekrar geldikleri zaman bir çuval dolusu kabartma kitapla geliyorlar. Bu kitapları eline aldığı zaman okur yazar olduğunu anlıyor. İngilizce öğrenmiş çünkü. Kabartmayı da öğrenmiş. O kitaplar kimisi İngilizce klasik kitaplar, çocuk klasikleri, sözlük. Yani onlara çok yarayacak şeyler ve gözyaşları içinde böyle bir kitaba İngiltere'den gelerek kavuştuğu için hem seviniyor hem de neden memleketinde yok diye de bir üzüntü geçiriyor. Bu arada onu İngiltere'deki bu kitapların gönderildiği kitapla üye yapıyorlar. Kitaplığın adı National Library for the Blind. İngiltere'de 1850 yıllarında kurulmuş ve orada bu kitaplar üretilip sponsorlarla okuma isteyen görmeyenlere ödünç olarak gönderiliyormuş. Gültekin Bey de üye olunca İngiltere'den ona ömrü boyunca bir kitabın birisi geldi, birisi gitti. Ve bu onun hayatında büyük bir devrim yarattı. Birçok kimsenin okumadığı kadar ekonomi, psikoloji, felsefe kitaplarını okuduğu gibi Yaşar Kemal'in kitapları İngilizceye çevrilmiş, kabartması yapılmış, Teneke ve İnce Mehmet gibi kitaplar Gültekin Bey'e İngiltere'den geldi. En son okuduğu kitabı da belirtmek isterim. Orhan Pamuk'un Kar kitabı İngilizceye çevrilmiş ve kabartma yapılmış ve eline gelmiş. Böyle bir şey onun hayatında bir kitaplık fikri 1945-46 yıllarında böylece geliyor. Ve hep hayalinde bir körler kitaplığı keşke mümkün olsa da ben de memleketinde kursam diyor. Sonra Gültekin Bey dışarıdan bitirmeyle ilk orta ve liseyi sınavlara girerek bitiriyor. Arkasından Ankara Hukuk Fakültesi'ne kaydoluyor. Ankara Hukuk Fakültesi'nde Ankara'da öğrenci olarak çalışırken körlerin ihtiyaçlarını çok iyi bildiği için Altı Nokta Körler Derneği'ni 1950 yılında öğrenciyken kuruyor. Mithat Enç çok değerli bir profesör olan Mithat Enç'le birlikte kuruyorlar ve bu dernek görmeyen çocuklara kağıt yurt dışından getirtiyor. Makineler çıkmaya başlamış, altı tuşla yazılan onu getiriyor. Ve böylece onlara destek olmak üzere şey yapıyor ve bir röportajı var radyoda elimize geçti. soruyor röportajda spiker. Bundan sonra ne yapmak istiyorsunuz diyor. Bir körler kitabını kurmak istiyorum diyor. Çünkü daima hedefleri olan ve bu hedeflerine ulaşmak için de elinden geleni yapan bir insan. Yani sadece bu konuda değil, her konuda bu. Sonra hukuk fakültesini birincilikle bitiriyor. Ankara ruhsatını alıyor, avukatlık ruhsatını. Hep bunları ama mücadeleli ilkler bunlar. Yani dönemi düşünmemiz lazım daima bir şeyi anlatırken. Sonra ruhsatını aldıktan sonra da Ankara Körler Okulu'nda da öğretmenlik yapıyor. Bu arada biz evlendik. Ben 53 yıl Gültekin Bey'le evli olarak hayatımı sürdürdüm. 11 yıl önce onu kaybedinceye kadar. Ve benim hayatımda çok büyük bir değer taşıdı. Bana çok şey kattı. Her zaman özlemle ve sevgiyle, saygıyla kendisini anıyorum. Ve bize mücadeleci yaptı. Her zaman için yeni şeyler, daima yararlı şeyler yapmaya yönlendirdi. Evliliğimiz sırasında 2 çocuğumuz oldu. Baştan da anlattığım gibi. Sonra biz dedik ki ben dedi görenlere öğretmenlik yapıp körlerin önünü açmak istiyorum. Ve İzmir'e öğretmen olarak tayinini istedi. İzmir, Ege tabii sevdiği kendi bölgesi. İzmir'e biz tayin olduk, geldik. İzmir'de Akşam Ticaret Lisesi'nde 20 yıl öğretmenlik yaptı. Gören öğrencilere ve onların hayatına büyük etkileyici bir kişilik rol oynadı. Okuttuğu dersin kitabını, hukuk dersinin kitabını yazdı. Bütün Türkiye'de okundu. Çok daima çok tercümeler yaptı. Herbert Sorenson'un psikolojik kitabını çevirdi. Lynn Clark'ın Amerika'dan çeşitli kitaplarını çevirdi. Tony Buz'un yani bu şekilde böyle hayatı bir yandan avukatlık, bir yandan öğretmenlik, bir yandan çeviri. Ve belli bir arada da hep böyle düşünüyorduk ki nasıl acaba bu kitaplığı kurabilirim diye. Ama kitaplığı kurmak için yeni sistemlere ihtiyaç var diye düşünüyordu. Bu arada bizim çocuklarımızın ikisi de Amerika'da ihtisas yapıyorlardı. Onları ziyarete geldiğimiz zaman Amerika'daki Recording for the Blind'ı, Lighthouse'ı, Veteran Library'leri dolaştık ve oralarda sesli programların olduğunu gördük. Ondan sonra büyük makinalarla kabartma her türlü şeyin basıldığını gördük kitapların. Çok heyecanlandı, çok duygulandı. Bize de gelir mi acaba Türkiye'ye bunlar dedi. Nitekim 95-96 yıllarında, 97 yılında geldiğini gördü ve Hal programı diye bir program aldı ve bilgisayar aldı ve 70 yaşından sonra bilgisayar kullanmasını öğrendi ve bilgisayarda kitaplarını yazdı. Bu arada yazdığı kitaplardan biri de şöyle göstereyim, Kör Uçuş diye Gültekin Yazgan'ın kitabı. Üzerindeki resimler de bizim gençliğimiz, çocuklarım, kocam ve biz karı koca ikimiz görünüyoruz. Ondan sonra bu kitap çok güzel bir kitap, hayatını anlatan, bütün bir dönemi gösteren. İnşallah bugün bir İngilizcesi çevrildi, basılacak. Belki Amerika'da okuma fırsatı bulacaksınız.
İnşallah.
Dijital olarak. Ondan sonra bu kitabı okuyan Doğan Cüceloğlu, Allah rahmet eylesin, bizim hayatımızı yazdı. Çok etkilenmiş bu kitaptan. O kitaba dayanarak bizimle yaptığı röportajdan onlar benim kahramanım diye. Tülay Hanım sizi de daha bir ortaya çıkarmak istiyorum dedi. Ondan sonra bu kitabı yazdı. Bu arada tabii biz bu kitapların yazıldığı dönemde de bilgisayar öğrendiği için çok güzel de bilgisayar yazıyor. Artık kitaplığı kurma zamanı geldi dedi. Ve kitaplığı 2004 yılında kurduk ve böylece kitaplığımız bugünlere geldi. Bunların devamının neler olduğunu arkadaşlarım size daha teferruatla anlatacak. Ben hikayemi biraz özetleyerek de hiç olmazsa Beyin Hanım'dan rica edeyim.
Teşekkürler.
I'll try to recap what Tülay Hanım has said, but with my own interpretation, and I think I'll have to summarize a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
Gültekin Yazgan, the son of a physician, lost his sense of sight when he was 11 years old because of an accident. In his autobiographic book, Blind Flight, which Tülay Hanım has just shown to you, Gültekin Yazgan claims that it was God's blessing that he accepted his condition so peacefully. As a child who lost his sight forever, he had a future and he was determined to make it as meaningful as possible. Maybe not fully consciously, but he knew that accepting the reality was the precondition for adapting to the new situation physically, mentally, and socially. And he did all these very successfully. Like a mature man, as if he was a mature man, he started to build strategies. First of all, he asked his parents to take him to Izmir, where the braille alphabet was taught to blind or visually impaired people, usually students. They lived in Aydın then. He had read about it in a children's magazine. Learning how to read and write in braille alphabet made him literate again. And and opened a path along which he could resume his education privately, acquire new skills, and fulfill his unending desire to learn. As he moved on, he became more and more independent. Maybe the most influential experience of his life took place while he was still a child. British Council opened an English course in the community center. Gültekin enrolled immediately. But there was a problem. The book was for people who could see. So how was he going to follow the course? He asked his mother to spell the book letter by letter. And he produced his own course book, unit by unit. By the way, neither of them knew any English at that time.
Wow. His enthusiasm and discipline earned him the first place in the course. He was so successful. And one day, the authorities of the British Council came to visit the course. And this remarkably successful child aroused their attention. They talked to him, they asked questions, and he answered with his then poor English. But that was enough to understand how eager he was. And the next time they came, they brought a huge sack of braille books for him as a present. And when he held those books, he shed tears because of extreme happiness, but also because of the heartbreaking fact that his own country was not yet able to provide him with such facilities. This dramatic experience sowed the seeds of his primary goal in life, which was sometimes lying in sleep, I would say, and that was establishing a Turkish library for the blind. Gültekin Yazgan then finished all schools by taking external exams and went to Ankara University Law faculty. He studied hard and finished first. His choice of career could open numerous doors to him, and so it did, but there was a whole group of young blind people behind him.
whose future was highly restricted. As Tülay Hanım has said, the community could see, the community saw only 3 chances for them. Either they would be beggars, or if they were a little bit lucky, they could become musicians. And the other alternative was to become an imam in a mosque. With every step he was to take, Gültekin wanted to open new paths for these people behind him. He established the 6 Dots organization, taught in the School for the Blind, taught law in a vocational high school of commerce to seeing students, and even wrote the course book of the subject. He taught his own book, I would say, and he practiced law as a private lawyer. He worked hard to enable the job placement of the blind. Another turning point of his life was when he met his wife Tülay. With this courageous woman by his side, Gültekin Bey always moved forward. They moved together. Even when Gültekin Bey reached elderly ages, he felt that he still had a future. And he learned how to operate a computer. With this new skill, he was able to work faster. He translated books from English. He wrote his own book. But above all, it was high time that he realized his old dream, opening a library for the blind.
And Beynur, I can take now from just where you finished.
Okay.
And
okay.
I can give maybe a few numbers
Okay.
about our library, maybe. Well, at the beginning,
Thank you.
We were in a small rented flat with only 1 studio and a few volunteers. But of course, in time we began to be known, and people trusting us contributed generously, and we were able to buy our present place, which is quite big. And so, I mean, to be here in this place, it made us possible for us to satisfy the demands of nearly 7,000 blind members. And we have 5 staff, 5 recording studios, 5 embossing machines, and almost 300 volunteers. And now on our shelves, we have 2,500 braille books and more than 6,000 audio books. And we also produce monthly 2 magazines. I can show you them. These are 2 magazines, braille magazines, Honeybee and Baby Honeybee for children, and 1 audio for adults. And every year also we organize a short story competition among blind people into different categories. And I would like also to tell you about I mean, when we began usually with audiobooks, but in a very short time, we realized that braille books was a really bigger need. And many scientists also say that the brain part, which is active when a person is reading, is the same when a blind person read braille books. And also, of course, reading is more permanent than just listening to. And also another reason is that audiobooks or digital books are more widespread and cheaper, of course, to get. But in Turkey, and I think all over the world, braille books are very expensive. I mean, you have to have special machine, embossing machines, and special paper. Well, technology, of course, offers many opportunities and facilities nowadays. but still can't solve all the problems they encounter. For example, English course book or science school books usually have a lot of visuals and should be described in order to be comprehensible. So we try as much as possible to have teachers to voice or edit these kind of books. And if necessary, we just print one book for one student. And we receive also a lot of messages from our members expressing their gratitude. And this, of course, motivates us so much in our work. Very short, I don't know. I think we don't have much time.
So it's okay. We'll continue. Yeah, yes.
I think we are short in time. So maybe Füsun, you are going to tell us about a few projects, and then I can finish with the Braille Borrow Book service and the way our donators can help us. Thank you.
And it's my turn, I think.
Yes.
I want to tell you about our projects. I want to mention some of our projects. First of all, how we decide to work on a topic, how we decide to make a project. We try to determine the needs of the blind population in all around in our country, or sometimes we face the demands of our library members, blind people. And then we decide to make a project, to organize the project and to focus on a topic by that way. Who are the grantors for our projects? They are sometimes charity foundations, sometimes other NGOs like Rotarian Lions Clubs, or some firms in private sector, or sometimes we have partnerships with state organizations, municipalities, universities, and sometimes high schools as well. And I want to tell you about some of our projects, which I think will make you interested in. First of all, I want to show you, that's a cookbook. It's a cookbook specially prepared for blind people. Specially prepared, it contains specially prepared recipes for blind people, not only the Braille alphabet. In it, we have 100 recipes. This was a project which we worked with Rotarian spouses. We prepared this book with Braille format and audio format. And what is important here was, this was a compact project, including kitchen workshops with the blind people. And this book was awarded the first prize in World Government Cookbook Awards in 2014. This was our honor. And another project I want to talk about, it was, I think, 2019. We worked on a project financed by NATO headquarters in Brussels. TÜRGÖK was the first Turkish NGO that was granted for a project by this organization. And the aim of the project was to Braille print 10 storybooks about international children's rights and send them to our children members. Another project, I'm talking quickly, but I think we have time limitation.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
Go at your comfort, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I want to talk about maybe one of our most dramatic works. The name of the project was Disabled Solidarity for Unlimited Development. And this project was financed by Sabancı Foundation. What was the aim of the project? The aim was to enable the volunteer work among the young prisoners in Bergamo prison. The prisoners were under 18 years old, and 25 volunteer prisoners voiced 50 books in the recording booth, which was installed in prison for this project especially. And the volunteers were first trained about fluent reading and diction by the Izmir State Theater artists. And both sides, what I mean, visually disabled people and prisoners were very happy to work in that project and to be a part of that project. And as an anecdote, I can tell one sentence of a prisoner. He said that it was the first time he read a book from the beginning to the end. He was 18 years old. Yes, this is a dramatic sentence, I think. And after what I can say, yes, I can talk about our 15th anniversary work. In 2019, we celebrated our library's 15th anniversary. And we wanted to do something really permanent. We thought what we can do, and we produced the audio and braille version of Nutuk by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, both in the braille alphabet and both in audio format also. And what was the importance of that? The importance of that was it was full text. There are many copies around, but most of them, maybe all of them, are summaries or shortened versions. But what we did was full text, and I think it was 13 volumes in braille.
Wow.
And the audio version is all voiced by radio artists and speakers. For example, the speech for youth, Gençliğe Hitabe, is voiced by Rüştü Asyalı. Maybe you know the name.
Wow.
And the financial support for this project was greatly from the concert by famous pianist Fazıl Say.
Wow.
And afterwards, what can I say? I'm choosing the most important ones. Maybe I can continue with how we met TPF or later.
Yes, no, that would be great, actually. If I first would like to say a little bit. I am just hearing these stories. You know, we've read about it, and we've been partners. But hearing how much Gültekin Bey influenced the visually impaired and blind community in Turkey by his vision, and he really took an opportunity in an area where many people might have been, you know, they might have given up after having an accident when you're 11 years old, but he took that as a chance to really change his world and the world for those in a time when they were incredibly underserved. And it's sad to say that this many years have passed by, and yet we still are seeing how underserved these communities are, and how there aren't enough books, audiobooks, educational books available in braille for the visually impaired community. And I think what you guys are doing here is incredible. The projects that continue to come up, and you know, the projects that we are continuing to work on together. I look forward to one day being able to say that the visually impaired community in Turkey is truly getting all the opportunities that they deserve and they need, because at the end of the day, we all deserve a chance to a fair education. And I'm very happy to be here with you guys today. If you'd like to continue.
Thank you. Can I just give also some short information about our Braille book service and how they can help us?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, now the most important part of our library is our Borrow Braille book service, which is completely free of charge. Our blind members send their book demands to us through email or WhatsApp or phone. Now let me tell you about, if you want, how we send them these books. Of course, there are steps of producing, but I don't want to take much time. It's only that we scan the book, then we convert it to Word format, and then to Braille, and then there is the printing, the bound, and label, a lot of steps. And most of it is done by our volunteers. Then we have these special delivery bags, and here there is an address card. So we put the books and we send them by cargo companies, because we have the post service, which is free, but it takes too much time. So we send the books by cargo companies and we pay the fee. And then when our member has finished reading, he has just to turn, you know, this, and on the back there is our address, and he sent the books back to us without paying anything. And so he doesn't even need to find somebody to write him the address. And finally, let me tell you about our income. Being, of course, an NGO, we carry out all our services free of charge with donations, projects like Füsun told you, realized with national or international institutes, and also the priceless effort of our volunteers. Several musicians, among them Fazıl Say, Gülsin Onay, Şefika Kutluer, also have performed for us beneficiary concerts. Another source of income for our library is the donations many people make to sponsor Braille books. That is where your donors can help us, because we print a Braille book in the name of a person for a special occasion like birthdays, weddings, graduations, or so on. The donors donate, of course, to us, and we send them a nice thank you card they can give to their friends instead of a maybe probably unnecessary gift. The name of the person to whom the book is printed for and that of the donator, of course, are written on this card together with the title and the author of the book. These gift Braille book cards, I think they are ideal presents to give both to your close friends or official occasions. You can also sponsor a book to the memory of someone you loved and you lost. So his name is going to live with the book. So we hope that you can watch our videos, which will show you many more details. And we have heard also that Selin is going to come to Izmir, so we will be very happy to welcome you. And of course, our invitation extends to all of you who are listening to us. We would be very happy and honored to welcome you in our library. So thank you now for the moment for listening to me. And I think, Füsuncum, you are going to tell them about one of our most important projects that we want the donators to learn more about. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
May I continue?
Yes, with this project.
Okay. I will shortly tell about our journey with TPF. We met TPF at 2011, and again a project for the university entrance exams, preparing test books for university entrance exams. And we prepared both audio and Braille formats of the test books and sent them to 65 students. They were studying with these textbooks and made the opportunity to enter the universities. And the second project with TPF was in 2018. And it was named, I am reading storybooks with my child. That's an interesting project again. And this was a demand of a blind mother who wanted to read storybooks for her child. And the child is not disabled, by the way. And when she told us that, we decided to prepare a storybook set, including a braille one and the original ink one. Ink printed one for the child. For instance, I have one here. Tombik Ayı Uyuyunca. This is a storybook for a child. And we prepared the braille kind of it, braille version of it, with all the descriptions on the pages, detailed descriptions on the pages. So the parent, either mother or father, can tell the story in a detailed way to his or her child. And a different version of that project is a triple set and containing the toy of the storybook. This is the hero of the story. And this is made by our volunteers from soft materials, suitable for child. And I also want to read a sentence of a blind mother describing her feelings. I'm now excited that I can share the happiness of reading a story with my son. And I am no more jealous about that topic with my husband anymore. She was, I think, very jealous about
that he was able to share that opportunity and that time with the child, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this was very good explaining this the benefits of this project.
Yeah.
And this project is also going on as we can find financial supports. And at last, I want to talk about our very fresh project sponsored by you, TPF, For All to Read. The name of the project is For All to Read. What we do in that project, we are visiting the visually disabled elementary schools all over Turkey. We visit the schools not only as TÜRGÖK, but with two writers. One of the writers is Defne Ongun Müminoğlu, and she's a children's book writer. And the other is Banu Tozluyurt. He's a writer and a management consultant. During those visits, what are we doing? We are informing students, teachers, and parents about TÜRGÖK and tell them how they can benefit from our library all free of charge. And then Defne Ongun Müminoğlu chats with students about her books. We give them the braille copies of the books. And then Banu chats with parents about self-compassion. And we visited just in, I think in October, Diyarbakır School, and in November, Şanlıurfa School. And last week, we visited the school in Izmir. And we want to continue those visits. We have 18 visually disabled schools in Turkey. We want to visit all of them. But if we can find a financial support by TPF, by the way of TPF. And this means we are looking forward to your donations.
We are looking forward to being able to support this project. You may find more information about this project at donate.tpfund.org underneath TÜRGÖK. I will also share the link to all of our social media when we upload our video clip from today's program. This has been a very informative and a very inspirational program, and I'm so happy to have you all here with us today. Thank you for carving out time. Thank you to our viewers for also being here. I will continue to share clips from this program throughout the next few weeks. You'll be able to watch the full program on YouTube, on TPF's YouTube channel, as well as TPF's website and through our social media channels. I also would like to remind everybody that sometimes it is important to reflect and hear these stories to understand that not everybody is as fortunate as we are, and that due to someone's disability, sometimes they have different disadvantages. And as we continue to build a more inclusive world, this does include catering to our disabled, visually impaired communities, and really keeping them in mind when we're working on projects. And I'm so glad to know that TÜRGÖK is here in Turkey making a difference, and also reaching other countries with their braille books and their audiobooks. Their library is not just inclusive to Turkey, but to also Turkish individuals and family members in other countries that are visually impaired but are looking for literature to be Turkish literature or English literature that they like to read in Braille. And again, their books are free to their members. You can learn more about TÜRGÖK and TPF's partnership and the work that they do at www.donate.tpfund.org. If you'd like to add anything else, this would be the time, but I'm so glad to have had you on the program. And Gültekin Bey is an inspiration and admirable to all. May he rest in peace. I think my sound went off. Again, I have shared the link, and I will continue to share the link. Thank you all for being here. Did you have any closing remarks?
Well, we thank you in advance, I hope, and wait for your donations.
Thank you. Tülay Hanım, sonuç olarak demek istediğiniz bir şey var mı?
Evet, çok güzel bir program olduğuna inanıyorum. Kendimizi inşallah ifade etmişizdir. İnşallah güzel de sonuçlarını alırız. Çünkü yapacağımız projeler ancak donation'lar vasıtasıyla oluyor. Evet. Bunu hazırladığınız için, böyle bir fırsatı sunduğunuz için de ayrıca teşekkür ediyorum. Gültekin Bey de bizi oradan resimden izliyor.
Evet. Çok teşekkür ederim. Gültekin Bey'in yaptıkları ve hazırladıkları ve sizin de onun yanında olup yapabildiğiniz gerçekten çok güzel. Ve bu kütüphane tüm Türk halkı için, görme özürlü halkı için çok önemli. Yaptığınız işler çok güzel. Daha güzel işler yapmaya devam etmemiz için umutluyum. Umarım herkes desteğe devam eder. Çok teşekkürler.
Herkese teşekkür ederiz efendim. Dinleyenlere sağ olsunlar. Bizi dinledikleri, bundan sonra YouTube'dan dinleyecekleri için teşekkür ederiz. Ayrıca videolarda konduğu zaman çok daha iyi anlaşılacaktır yaptıklarımız.
Çok teşekkürler. Ben size New York'tan iyi akşamlar diliyorum. Ve New York'taki ya da Amerika'daki olanlara iyi öğlenler diliyorum. Thank you very much, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you on our next Voices of Partners.
İzmir'e bekliyoruz efendim. Hadi bakalım.
Ben de gelmeyi bekliyorum.
Tabii,
mutlaka sizi ziyaret edeceğim.
Oldu,
çok teşekkürler.
görüşürüz.
Görüşmek üzere.
Görüşmek üzere.